I have no
You went to
idea.
school? Oh, you're afraid to tell us. Hey, right there.
Well, we went to school together, and we went to church together, and he was a Methodist and I was a Baptist. We met every other Sunday.
Go with him one Sunday and you the next.
Yeah. I don't know.
About how old were you when you first met him?
I was 16.
Mm.
I
Was he
was
from down?
17 I married in August, 17 in December.
Was he from down around Indian Creek?
Yeah, he was born and raised in Indian
Mhm.
Creek. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And I lived around there from the time I was about 7.
Yeah. Tell me, was your dad? He did deep sea diving and stuff like that, or?
He used to dive, deep sea diving for, one time we went to Austin or somewhere, and he dove, they had a pipeline broke, and he dove down there and fixed that. I'm not sure if it was somewhere around here, I don't remember. I think we had come down here, or we maybe came down here and then did that. I mean, probably the reason we came down here or something.
He worked for the railroad, didn't he, when he, did he work for the railroad when he was killed?
Yeah, when he first married, he worked for the railroad. And then, he used to work on a ship, build those barges on the, out on the rivers and what have you.
Out of Houston or
Well, he worked, out.
Texas City
yeah,
or whatever?
out of Houston, Harrisburg,
Uh-huh.
down in, well, I don't know how far it was, but anyway, but when he got killed, he was selling that cooking wire.
He was hit by a train, wasn't he?
Yeah. And I guess he tried to beat a train, probably.
With the crosswalk.
Or didn't
Yeah.
hear it or something.
And it was pretty close to our house. We could have seen it happen if we'd have been looking.
A lot of them here, the younger ones, probably don't know about your brother Glenn in the service.
Yeah,
You might tell a little about that.
well, I can't remember that either.
He was about,
Well,
he was
he
about
was
19.
killed.
19.
Short time.
Yeah,
after
he
left.
volunteered and went in. And then he just got his basic training and went in pretty soon. And he hadn't been in there, well, about 3 months, three or 4 months before he was killed.
Iwo Jima, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okinawa or Iwo Jima?
Iwo Jima.
Iwo Jima,
Yeah, and he was killed by a sniper.
I remember
yes.
Ray telling us that they were both in Los Angeles, wasn't it, Raymond?
Yes.
When they met up on the street,
Yeah.
which was very,
Yeah. Yeah.
That's bound to been the Lord's work to bring them
Right.
together, because that was the
last time they saw
each
one
other.
another.
Yeah.
And they were so close.
Well, Ray was coming in on a furlough, and Glenn, I don't remember where was he stationed there? I don't think he was, but anyway, they just walked around a building there and run right into each other.
Dating, I guess you were a senior in high school with Indian Creek.
You start telling something off that you may be,
I was a junior.
Anyway, you were still in high school, I guess in first grade, second. And I can remember Raymond coming up there and picking you up, and he had on black 35, 36 Ford.
35.
And I can remember him coming and picking you up at school. And two other things, of course, some of you, I think was telling last night, when Roy and Hayden and Norman, them lived up there out of Brooks Smith on that Hughley place.
Yeah.
Daddy was up there helping Roy grind some feed grinder. Had an old one, he had a F12, F20, I don't know. F12.
Yeah.
And mother always dressed me in little Red Hawk striped overalls. We all remember that. It's always them little striped Red Hawks. And Daddy and Roy was grinding feed, and I was out there. I don't know where we went. Norman were. Anyway, I climbed up on that old tractor, got my britch leg caught in
Power take off.
the power takeoff, and tore the leg plumb out of those little red dogs. And I can remember me going to the house, Daddy sending me, give me a good scolding, sending me to the house. And I'd go in the house and carrying that leg of that all over in my hand. And then when Wally lived there, of course, we was talking about this last night, I think, Roy bought a little Model T coupe to use a frame to make a four-wheel trailer. And he's going to make one last run in it before he turned it over and got the frame out from under it. And that thing had a hole in the top, and I don't remember if it was me and Wimpy or me and Norman or all three of us.
It was me.
With you?
I remember that.
And the Joneses lived up there pretty close to him, had a cellar out in the front yard. So me and his Wimpy and Roy, like I say, is gonna take that old Model T one more run before he tore it up. And he, of course, we started up to the Joneses, and Wimpy and I was standing, see their head out top that, to that hole at the top. And he got out there, and the Joneses all standing out on the front porch. And Roy went to acting a goose, carrying on, and run up over the cellar and run into the porch and broke the porch pole. You remember that? No, they scattered.
Looked like the trumpet playing around there.
Okay, he ran up over that cellar in the front yard, and up over that, he was acting a goose and ran and broke the porch pole.
Growing up at Indian Creek before Camp Billy run us out, Billy J. and Burl and Wimpy and I, we spent a lot of time in the woods. I mean, we'd go visit each other, and we'd go out in the woods. And one of our hobbies was to see how many wasp nests we could knock down out of mesquite trees and get stung or not get stung. I remember that. And then when we were living down at Indian Creek on the farm before they moved us out, there was a little mud hole tank out by the house, and Wimpy and I learned to swim in that little old tank on inner tubes. We'd borrow Daddy's inner tube, and we'd go out there and learn to swim in that little old tank on the inner tubes. And we'd go down and visit Burrow. We'd always have to go down to the river, take a swim in the Colorado River. And I often wondered what would have happened to all of us if we'd have still been at Indian Creek. Yeah, it just, you know.
Tell me, were you also baptized in the river?
No,
Raymond was.
I was.
no.
How many here was baptized in the river? One, two.
I was baptized in the tank.
She's crossing.
Pardon?
I
I
remember,
was baptized in the tank.
I remember going down to the river too, baptizing, but
Yeah.
I was little but I wasn't baptized there.
Luke was baptized in the river.
Hmm.
Reba, tell us something about you.
Nothing as exciting as this.
Correctly, that we're about the only ones that stayed married. Because we married during the war, and a lot of the girls married boys out here at Camp Bowie and were taken away to another state maybe, and then divorced.
You were lucky.
So,
Tell about your trip going to New York when he was going to go overseas.
well, Raymond went to Camp Hood and got his basic training, and then he was going to New York to ship out, and if he paid my way on the train, he could ride with me. Otherwise, he would have to ride the troop train. So I went to Baltimore, Maryland, actually, with him, and spent one night, got on the train, and came home.
But you got to be with him.
Right, and he shipped out. He went from there to Camp Shanks, New York, and then shipped out. It was really, really hard him to see me standing there on that steps of that train, because I was going to have to wait there all day till I got my train back. He got on the bus, left, pretty hard.
I remember when Luke and
Barnes, you know, and that was the cryingest kid you ever heard. And I'd go to school, I'd go to sleep, and the teachers want to know, why can't you stay awake from school? My little sister cried, kept me awake all night.
We've been brothers and sisters ever since.
Called her little sister.
And mother said Mom would come in there and say, y'all are so mean to this baby, don't you know that she needs to be taken care of? And Mother said she'd get her and take me and put me in the bed with them, or if they turned the light on, well, I'd hush. And she said, I just wanted to have the light on. Didn't like to be in the dark.
I've got some pictures that I think you would love to have, and
Okay, I don't remember that, but I might if I saw pictures. And I brought some pictures that I want to show you tonight, the rest of the bunch. I don't remember that.
maybe if you're not dressed. Maybe you were dressed up like a, maybe you just came out of the field.
Mother, Daddy, or me, or who?
Well, it's you and Winfrey standing by the car, I think.
Oh. Well, I don't know.
Stand still and just swirl around and that skirt would stand up straight. It was beautiful. And I think she wore boots with it. And I remember that old car. Bill and Elmer drive a car, Bill and Elmer had a car, and
I'm sure they did to get around.
yeah, Model A or something.
He had a little 1-seat Chevrolet coupe at one
Yeah.
time, like when they were dating. Along with
Yeah, that's right. But they got so mad at us kids, but we thought it was funny.
And it was.
Well, you slept.
Something terrible. Now he's proud to get them. Now I ask for them. Yeah.
I thought that was
Camera is that?
It's a Casio. Yeah, do that.
No. You make it with bangs and all kinds of stuff.
Let me see it. Do it.
No. No.